Hey y'all, welcome to Help of Christians. I'm Antoinette, and this brand new channel is coming at you live from the apocalypse. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to have a little fun. This world's too serious sometimes, and what I'm going to talk about is kind of serious. So apparently there has been volcanic action going on in the Canary Islands since just this past September 11th. And yesterday, September 19th, there was a very large eruption that went on. These dates definitely mean something. Everybody, the world knows what 9/11 is. And September 19th is actually the feast day of Our Lady of La Salette, which she is our Holy Mother Mary, who appeared in France, in La Salette. During her apparition, she was talking about a lot of end times prophecy, which there's so much of that would be a whole nother video. But just looking at these dates kind of can point us to God is seriously giving us a message. We know that God uses natural phenomenon to get our attention, and specifically hitting on these dates where God is showing us, he's, in many prophecies, currently God has spoken on the fact that 9/11, as many have speculated, was not what we were told, and that he is going to expose the truth behind it. So that date is significant. That event is not over. It's not. God is still going to expose that evil that happened there, and the truth will come out. And then again, the end times events from Our Lady of La Salette being September 19th, when this huge explosion of this volcano went off. That is nothing to ignore as well. So I'm still kind of putting the pieces together. This was brought up to me from a blogger. I will put the link in the description box. The blog is called Mary Refuge of Souls, and the blogger keeps themselves anonymous. They just call themselves a soul. So they had brought it up to my attention that some events was even going off. I don't think the mainstream media is really covering it very big yet, or at least they weren't yesterday. But this soul says that during their prayer time, they had, seen this happening in the Canary Islands, and know that if this actually does explode, erupt in a big way, that the effects of this would actually reach all the way to America. It would create a tsunami that would devastate our whole eastern coast, north and south. So that's huge. So this soul, as they call themselves, asked God, if there's anything we can do, and they felt like God answered them saying, we can certainly pray that this doesn't happen, that this is not something that God really wants. God doesn't want this mass casualty event at all. And we should be praying for retribution of all the sins of our nation. Many prophecies have spoken about the devastating effects of abortion and the sins of this nation, and that we will have to pay some sort of price. Our hearts have to turn back to him, even though he's still, God still loves America very much and still feels like we are a covenant nation with him. But we need to make retribution for all the sins of abortion that our country has committed. I was also reminded of the prophetess Liberty from Spirit Movement Ministry, who God has given close to about a dozen words, prophetic words about Florida in the last several months. She doesn't particularly just receive prophets from the Lord about Florida, but Florida has been seriously on the Lord's heart and has put it out for her to be speaking on these prophecies. So one in particular I know speaks about big waves coming, and another one speaks about floodwaters. So, of course, this would tie into that possibly, maybe not, but it is something to consider. And I will put a link to one of her prophecies about Florida and water in the description box. Please, please, please don't take any of this as fear-mongering. This is simply to inform you, just like God informs all his prophets before he does anything, so we can prepare, we can pray about it, and we can understand what God is doing and how we should act as Christians. So let's hope that our prayers can be